Every day, Craig Walsh cycles 5 miles from Littlemore to Headington to do the job he loves at Oxford Children's Hospital. He says he's never had any illusions about the pay and conditions. He just knew this career was for him.
I knew I wanted to work with children. When I applied to become a nurse, my mum took me aside and said, "This is not a profession to make money in. You are not doing this for the cash at all."
More than 20 years after starting to work towards his dream to be an advanced orthopaedic nurse, at age 38, tomorrow is a day Craig hadn't envisaged. But like so many members of the Royal College of Nursing, he says enough is enough.
We are battling to keep the NHS alive. This is about fair pay, this is about nurses' pay, but actually it's about the whole of the NHS. If we're not getting enough nurses to go into the job because they know that they're not going to be able to afford to live if they're doing this job, then eventually nurses are going to run out.
We hear people say the NHS is on its knees, but what does that mean?
There's now a significantly smaller pool of people that you can call upon to say, actually, we need someone to cover this night shift, we need someone to cover this weekend, are you free to do X, Y and Z? There isn't the people anymore. The COVID pandemic, we worked insanely hard and the clapping was amazing and everybody really pulled together. There were doctors doing jobs they've never done. I was redeployed out of my role and did something completely different. It feels like that's been rapidly forgotten. Nurses on the wards that are directly doing the 13-hour shifts will regularly be there for 13 and a half, 14 hours, and quite often they're not paid to have their 2 breaks, so they get 2 unpaid breaks for half an hour each. And if they're able to take those breaks, it's a miracle.
How seriously have you considered quitting?
Oh, not at all. No, not at all. We have lost a lot of nurses because of not being able to afford heating or food or both. I absolutely love my job. It's a horrible decision to make.
As nurses like Craig prepare to protest, it looks like deadlock, with the Health Secretary agreeing to talk, but not about money. And MPs from both sides are under no illusion of the impact tomorrow could bring.
Of course, we have sympathy for them. Having said that, I think the pay ask of 19% is clearly way over the top.
The government ought to be ensuring that people get round the table and that there are proper discussions and that there is compromise.
There's a pledge to maintain frontline care, and not all hospitals in our area are affected by strikes tomorrow. Those in Hampshire and Surrey may see action after Christmas. But those that are out tomorrow will also have picket lines next Tuesday. Like Craig Walsh, the nurses there will have to balance their instinct to care with the need to speak up for what they say is a fair deal. Wesley Smith, ITV News, Oxford.